copper pan. Before we even put our copper pan in, we ran some of the panels to liquid flash. We've got our piece of AZAC that is just silicone down in there, which is our pack up for our door threshold. We've got our window units on the side and then our door unit in the middle. Guys are moving pretty good on those. Everything has been working out pretty good, but we did have to tweak things a little bit with doors. I could show you. It's a detail we had to do on the first floor. So this is one of our first door units we got in, so that way we could determine the head height. So we changed our clips to the 13/16 isolator clip. You can see right here. So it bumps this clip over. Originally this plate was a 1/4 inch isolator, so the clip sits tight. The problem with that, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's only a 3/4 inch allowance there from the top of this door to the top of these units. And this is hinged in the middle, but where units where we have our hinge on our sides, we would literally have to notch the trim around it if we had the original strapping. So by doing this, it allows us to have more room to get our extension jam trim in. Now, what I did was I used my inside of extension jam head height, and I figure out what that height's gonna be, and I customize every unit to that. Now, our window units actually the unit itself sits a 1/4 inch higher. And if that wasn't done, then after my trim carpenter came in later, he would actually have a 1/4 inch height difference between these door units and our windows in order to make our doors operate properly. So explain it to you right now, but I will show a little bit later. Right now I can't open this unit, but I'll give you a reference later. So here's the window unit. And as I mentioned, this unit, you can't really tell right now, but if you were to shoot a laser over to a door, eventually over here, these windows sit a 1/4 inch higher. Now these have the 1/4 inch isolator straps, so the straps are a little bit tighter. It allows for a 1/2 inch shim space. They still need to put their screws and their spacers in around all that to fasten this. So we got a mix of our nailing flange plus the straps. But basically after this is trimmed out, our 3/4 trim sits tight to here. If we did that same detail, we wouldn't be able to open up our doors. So at the end of the day, on the outside, you won't really even be able to tell because our casing head heights are all gonna line up on the outside, the inside, the casing head heights all line up. If you're really to shoot a laser around this height, not even this height here, you would potentially see the 1/4 inch difference, but you're never gonna notice because you want your casing heights all to line up. And the reason is we have all this millwork, and when all this millwork runs around, we want our panel heights all to line up exactly.
Very, very important monologue. Yep. You know what? The 6 inches is better, the design.
Now you can see we got our 6-inch stone and then our 4-inch stone. Got our column section right here. We got our shelf that continues. Our other column section right here. Shelf that drops down, that's 6 11/16. Getting some scaffolding up so we can finish out our chimneys. Scaffolding tower. Since we have 2 different masons, I had our block masons get stuff up pretty far, but then our stone masons actually provided all the scaffolding. So now we're going to start getting things all flashed on these chimneys. These machines are helpful on site. So this section will get framed in a little bit later. We're going to keep the center open as long as we can, but our timber frame will be coming in about 2 weeks for this roof structure. Window installs are going very smooth. Guys are trimming out the roof lines as you can see up there. And our roofers are going to start installing drip edge around the areas that is trimmed. On this back side over there, they can start some of the slate install. Already got all of our roof vents marked out. I'm excited for the mechanic room phase, which is starting very soon. We're getting everybody started on the 2nd floor first for the most part, but we got our electrical panel stuff down here. So I've got my center wall as my power wall. We've got plywood up
Everything all painted, did bore on the bottom. And then which I'm pretty sure we're gonna coat these floors, that'll wrap up to that boral. So we're gonna get our main panels on first, and then gonna make all of our other mechanical guys lay out where their units are gonna be and everything. So that way we can run all of our power behind all the framing. So we're gonna have geos on this side. So geo lines come in, boilers on this side. We've got ERV, window well openings between our intake air and exhaust air for boilers, fresh air and stuff. And then our water wall with our mechanical plumbing stuff. Got our irrigation pump controller and stuff's gonna be over on this side. And then we got public over here. This little corner is gonna get plywooded for our elevator mechanicals. We've got Lutron on that side, AV racking as well, so good amount of mechanicals. Right now we got 100 amps into the house, which is awesome. Power ran around the house.
So now we're set up with scaffolding. So we continued with this. So we've got our step flashing layout, and then our roofer was out here this morning as a meeting, but we got our lead through flash on this. He manipulates it so it works up around all the flues. Comes out real nice. So I just let my other masons know that they can continue this. It goes up about 3'6". You can see just like that. And then we're going to be getting some scaffolding set up on that chimney soon. These guys are working on our gable returns. See, they got the crowns, that way the roofers then will circle behind them and get the copper all set up. Everybody's pretty set up now. It's kind of like learn over there. Once they get the rhythm of things, it's just pretty much automatic now. It's nice. Got our drip edge on, got our gutter bracket, and we've got our slate starter torched in. In some of these areas we're able to get slate on pretty quick. A bunch of areas we're gonna have to wait for masonry. On this side of the house we can get some of the slate started. We have had a lot of rain in the past. Actually this week, a couple days, had almost 4 inches of rain, so it's been a bit of a mess. We've got elevator framing in. I already had my elevator guy on site. We went a little extra beefy, did continuous studs. With all the rain, the framers have been working on additional framing on the inside. Window guys are still working as much as they can with the weather. The alarm guys out here, because these windows are a little different, so just making sure they're aware of what they have to do with drilling and stuff. Framing out shower areas. If you notice, I got a double step on our floor. It's because it's curbless design. I don't know if you can see it, but I got my laser beam over there. So I'm shooting and marking heights. Marking with green paint. We originally marked right there, you can kind of see that dash line. That's 2 inches up from my laser line. So that's my top of Chicago grid that I gave everybody as a reference. So when they were doing their plumbing and all the rough-ins, they were above that line. We're actually gonna have drywall guys in here next week. They're gonna be putting 5/8 drywall up on this upper part to my marks. And this will be for our fire stop. So that way our mechanical guys, they wouldn't even really have the plumber really get cruising on things. So it's not too bad now, but I like to get that board up before a lot of the mechanicals are in, so that way the HVAC contractor and stuff can cut out things. We've already headed off certain areas for them. It's just a lot easier later for the drywall guys, especially once the electrician starts. So a little bit more cost effective, rethinking. So most likely wondering what Chicago Grid is. Some people know, but it's a metal track system, almost like a drop ceiling. It hangs down and it gets drywall to it. And we did all this ahead of time, all this thinking, so that way we don't have any soffits or anything. If we did run into issues, we reviewed it with the architect, like over here in the theater area. We're dropping it a little bit lower than what they originally had. That's because we got to fit some of these ducts through. Not using the unistrut because of the pecs, but guys are using out wood or pipe clamps and a few plumbing lines. So it was a muddy mess all this week that we actually had to create this swale. We dug a big trench first just to drain it, but the excavator was back here before this rain's coming. Get some torrential rains on their way with crazy thunderstorms and high wind.